Shalom, party people, and welcome to the 12th C. It is November 9th, 2022. It's day 39 of 75 hard for me. We are over halfway complete through this cycle. In case y'all are playing along at the home game or interested in playing the next round, round 4 for me, or your next round of 75 hard if you want to join along. January 1 is the go time. So I'll have the back half of December to get fat and lazy, I guess. Not really. Homemade gummy bears. So my wife and I were actually talking a little while back, and in all honesty, I think I'm done with anything more than 3 grams of added sugar. And that's just, I had eaten too much about 3 weeks before, maybe 2 weeks before 75 hard started. And I was just, I don't like this. Didn't like the way I felt, didn't like the stuff in my teeth, didn't like what it did to my body several hours later after the sugar wore off and everything was still there. So that was one of those that I just made that decision of, if it's more than 3 grams of added sugar, I'm not going to do it. And I'm definitely not going to touch that fake sugar with a 39.5 foot pole. All in all, this morning at 6 a.m., I went for my run. Did 3 miles in 26, 27 minutes, something like that. And tomorrow I'm going to try and do it for speed. See if we can clock a real good time. But anyway, I also did 100 fully up, fully down, let go, jump back up, grab the bar, fully up, fully down, pull-ups. And let's see, I did do my photo. I am en route to finishing my gallon in a reasonable amount of time. I did, my weigh-in came in at 199.2. Let's see, for breakfast, I had a croissant with eggs and hash browns and cheese. And then I had broccoli cheddar soup and a sandwich that was kind of a panini, I guess, for lack of a better description. It was turkey, egg, and cheese on whole wheat, spinach, carrots, and then for dinner I will likely have chicken and rice and probably chips and salsa, just to kind of round it out, I guess, more than anything. Make that chicken and rice probably more of a Spanish rice or something to change things up a little bit, I guess. All in all, I've been tracking through, did my Bible reading in Psalm 131 through 140, so one more day in Psalms, and then I'll go through Proverbs, and then Song of Solomon and Ecclesiastes, and then that should have put me through all of the scripture in 2 rounds of 75 hard, and I'll have some more to do. I guess I will probably devote some time into going through the Gospels and Acts again after I complete that, and then I am just about done. I only got a few more pages in 12 Rules for Life, and I'll be done with that. So my thought process will be, I definitely want to do 12 more Rules for Life if I can get my hands on a copy. If I can get my hands on a copy, I would really like to do Resistance Operational Concepts, which is about resilience. I'm thinking about doing Killing Sacred Cows, which is a kind of non-traditional finance book that really talks about how to make your money work for you, which I think all of the finance books talk about those kind of things. It's just this one looks at it through non-traditional ways. And then I may go back through Extreme Ownership. Really just depends. I'm trying to think if there's just anything else I'm just aching to read. I don't know, but 12 Rules for Life has been good to go back through for me. Not gonna have talked about all of them by the time I'm done and moved on to the next reading thing, but something that has been sticking with me, I guess, that I am chewing on, is assuming that the other person knows something that you don't when you're talking to them. And it's obviously, this rule's about listening. Something I'm really bad at. I am really bad at listening to somebody else in a two-way conversation, because I'm always trying to get my stuff in. I'm always trying to one up. I'm always trying to, make somebody think that I've got all the answers when I do not. And so that is a shortcoming on my part. Let's see if you can see this skyline. That's pretty cool. But yeah, all in all, it's just stuff I'm chewing on. How's it going? Yeah, all in all, just stuff I'm chewing on about. Assuming that other person knows something that you don't. I think something that I'm gonna really work on is making sure that whenever I'm talking to somebody else, that they have my undivided attention. And, pause music, pause whatever's on the Telemundo, pause podcasts, and just wholeheartedly listen to what they have to say without trying to get in a comment. And I'm sure that's going to be an uphill battle, but it's something that I really need to strive to do. And just remember that I can't always chime in, and I shouldn't always chime in. I've had several instances where people have asked questions where I have been in the room and I've just been that know-it-all and tried to answer them all the time because I feel like I'm helping when I do that. And maybe I don't need to be the one to provide those kind of answers. Man, that is a gorgeous skyline. They don't want to show other people's houses. That's the thing. So you'll just get a really grainy video of me talking. But yeah, I've enjoyed 48 Laws of Power. I've enjoyed 12 Rules for Life. I've enjoyed going back through Fearless. I've enjoyed The Heart and the Fist. And I look forward to going through many, many more books, let alone just my personal reading for 75 Hard. It was brought to my attention, and this makes sense, but I just didn't think about this, that if you do minimum 10 pages a day, you're doing minimum 3,650 pages a year, which is not nothing by any means whatsoever. A substantial amount of pages turned and lessons learned, where you didn't have to go through the hard experiences to get those lessons. I was listening to them break down a debate on, hey, this person is coming at it brand spanking new versus this person who's got all this experience in how they're doing these things. Who do you think's going to win? Like, well, the person coming in brand spanking new has had all that time that they were training to hopefully go and learn the lessons that it took the other person 40 years to learn, hypothetically. You get someone who's been training for 2-3 years and they're brand new. If they're training right, they're not having to learn the lessons the hard way. So sometimes learning lessons the hard way are the only way you can actually win at learning. But for those rare occasions where stuff sinks in and you know the why behind this doesn't work because, and this is what happens, then I think those are ideal situations. Now, someone who is old and persistent and stubborn, they can probably beat the youth all the time. But those rare occasions when they don't, and somebody trains right. So that's just a thought process. I mean, you look at all these records that are being shattered by high school kids that were Olympic records, you know, maybe a decade ago, if that. And it's because these high school kids have had their whole life to train and get better and learn lessons. Obviously, equipment's getting better and things like that too, but all in all, that old pro may think they're the old pro, but that young buck may have something to show them. That's why we need to assume that the other person has got something that we don't know, that they know something that we don't know. That's why we don't need to rate people off. And on the inverse, these young bucks, including myself, because I definitely consider myself a young buck, even though I'm not 18 anymore by any means. Can't write off our elders who have learned the lessons the hard way. Need to use their knowledge and their experience and grow. Go do hard things.